going on? I'm Jeff Kirkchin, and welcome to another episode of Do What You Love. And I'm so excited to share my guest with everybody, but you've probably already seen her with her over 700,000 followers on TikTok. She's also big on Instagram. You've got to follow her. Welcome, Andrea Lopez, into today's podcast. What's up?
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? It's so great to be here. We go way back, so this is more of a friend catch-up than anything.
It really is. We're both graduates of Syracuse University, so, we are talking to comedian, influencer, you name it, content creator, Andrea Lopez, but also to fellow Syracuse graduate. And Andrea, as somebody who worked, in the same spaces that you did in radio and TV and broadcasting at Syracuse, it's so good to see somebody like yourself who, trust me, it's people like you who hustled so hard to make the extra things happen in college that are now hustling so hard in adulthood to make the extra things happen. And that's why you as a content creator, that's why you work. That's why you have this opportunity.
Exactly. A lot of it is done beforehand that nobody really sees. The behind the scenes stuff, it's really a long process. And I've been doing voices and radio just like you for a really long time. But, we kind of forget what happens in college. But yeah, all those internships, all of that good stuff that seems like a lot of work when you're in college, it all pays off.
Well, and for those that don't know, Andrea, she's a comedian. She's an impressionist. She's a content creator. But you're great behind the scenes, too. You're editing your own videos. You're putting together your own work. And I think that's something that goes a little bit unnoticed. That's how you make the difference in all of the noise that is TikTok, is if you can create the funny content and you can be a good producer and marketer of yourself, then you're going to make it through. And the impressions are amazing. How long have you done impressions? Since you were little?
Oh my God, yeah, since I was little. It was my favorite thing to do. It was I would impersonate teachers, impersonate classmates, and it was the thing that I found as like my main passion throughout school. It wasn't like science or history, but yeah, I've been doing it forever. I've been doing Courtney specifically for about 9 years now, and if you go back, it's been perfected over the years. It does take a while to master the voices.
Well, and I want everybody on the podcast to just take a listen. I did some research, and I found your most viewed video on your TikTok account with 13.4 million views. Let me say that again. 13.4 million people viewed this video, and it's featuring your very famous now Kourtney Kardashian impression. So I want everybody to see it real fast.
One day after watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians. 1 week after watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians. 1 month after watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Bible, I've watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians for 1 year. I'm Kourtney. My shoes are Yeezy. My coat is Yeezy. Scott Disick sucks. Mom, stop. You're being so rude right now. I'm recording a video. Stop.
I have so many questions in the best way possible. 13.4 million views, but that wasn't just something you decided to do in front of your mirror. You've been perfecting the Kourtney Kardashian for years now, right?
Yes, I remember doing it with our classmate Bryn Foley.
Oh,
Love
Bryn.
Love Bryn. She's now an amazing sports broadcaster. She currently works at Barstool, I think, but she had this project, and it was like, try to make a fun viral video. We did this back in college, you guys. I'm talking, this was probably 2014. And,
we're old. We are old.
We're old. Yeah, we're getting up there. And so just to give you guys a little bit of a background, I've been doing it for probably 8 or 9 years, Kourtney specifically. And it does take a really long time. And that video I just did at the beginning of quarantine because we all had extra time and everyone was just getting on the TikTok. And then, so I just kind of used one of a trend that was going on, and I mixed it with what I know to do, which is impressions. So that's how that came to be.
Your impressions don't just stop at Kourtney Kardashian. In fact, you are known, you have quite a few faces, quite a few wigs. Sorry, I had to add the one on the left there. If you're just listening in audio, you've got to follow at Do What You Love JK to see the videos and see the pictures of Andrea, who looks amazing in this video, and but uses filters, uses wigs, uses mustaches, and everything. You do an amazing Sebastian Maniscalco. I mean, it's like, how did you even know you had that impression?
Sebastian Maniscalco. It's like you're going down and then you're going freaking up because you're getting angry at stuff. He's got 2 kids, a wife. You know what I'm saying?
So funny story about that. My dad has watched Sebastian as a comedian for like years and years. My parents are still married, but he will go to bed. My mom always says he goes to bed with Sebastian before he goes to bed with her because he'll be in bed just like rewatching Sebastian clips on YouTube. He knows every set. And so he's been a huge influence in my life as well as a comedian. And I guess it was in the summer in July 2020, I got reached out to by Jimmy Kimmel, and they were doing a really fun segment with Sebastian Maniscalco. He had people and comedians take over his show for a little bit. So they reached out and they said, hey, we have 3 of these impressionists on TikTok that do Sebastian. We don't have any female impressionists. Do you have a Sebastian Maniscalco impression? I was like, no, but give me 2 days and I'll send you guys a reel. So I told my parents to leave, give me like 4 hours. I was like, just go outside. At that time I was living back with my parents, and I just sat and I watched all his videos and I just put together a Sebastian impression, and I sent the clip in. They ended up going with Melissa Villaseñor, who, as you guys know, is already on SNL. So they didn't choose me, but I was left with a Sebastian Maniscalco impression. So now I incorporate him in my act.
Listen, Melissa is known as one of the best impressionists out there. So if you were even in the consideration of her, I mean, and I think you did a spectacular job. And one other video I want everybody to play, because it's, if you know anything about me, I'm a huge Disney freak. I love Disney Plus guy. I'm not like a Disney adult, you know how they say on TikTok, Disney adults. I'm not like that crazy, but the movies, obsessed. And one of my favorites of your impressions, I think you know where we're going.
What? What is it? What are you? What do you want? My God, you've gotten fat. Come in, come. What are useless, darling? Gobble, 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 gobble. Too much, darling, too much. Huh. This is a hobo suit, darling. You can't be seen in it. I won't allow it. Well, you know where he is. Go confront the problem. Fight. Win. And call me when you get back, darling. I enjoy our visits. No case.
Edna Mode of The Incredibles. That impression is incredible.
She is also one of my favorite characters of any Disney movie. I think I've watched The Incredibles 20 times, and she just always comes out on top for me. It's what are you doing, Robert? It's the slow, it's the like expressions, and I immediately loved her. And not a lot of people will have your response to it. People know her, but she's not, as well known, I guess, as like reality stars. But God, I love her.
No capes. This is the best
No
line.
capes.
Best line.
Ah, my God, you've got him fat. Come in, come. How she gets close to the camera.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so good. It's so good.
Always. I think that impression, I think you're tapping into such an audience. And if you don't follow her already, take some time. Andrea Lopez, comedy on all social medias. You can check her out. She is so talented. And, I always wondered, as yourself being an impressionist now, you're a comedian and impressionist, and you're on your way up. So any chance you have to do an impression, you're gonna do it. But I always notice, like with guys like Jay Farrow, like I kind of feel bad because he's so talented, he's so good at impressions, but the man is also really talented at he's an actor, he's a performer, and I feel like every time they go like, dance, monkey dance, like let me see what you got, do this impression, do that impression. And how are you as an impressionist, which I state again is extremely impressive, but how do you also allow people to respect you as a comedian as well with your own content?
Completely. I think it was really all these platforms that have come about, like TikTok, and if all that stuff is my own content. So once you kind of have these range of characters, you can kind of build that into a set. And if you go and do shows, it's a matter of mixing, like building a story around a character, like putting Edna Mode in a certain situation, like Edna Mode getting the vaccine. I don't want Johnson & Johnson. I want Moderna. I'm going to die if I get Johnson & Johnson. So you put them in these characters in these situations, and then it builds around that. So, but it is really hard to jump from impressionist sketch artist to actor. And I think it's just about getting in contact with the right people and getting in different programs. I just finished the CBS Comedy Showcase, which is a great way to put yourself in different, you get to be alongside other actors, and people start to take you a little bit more seriously than just impressions. And not to belittle, I mean, like I thought Jay Farrow, he was one of my biggest inspirations,
Absolutely.
yeah, but you just got to keep on working and keep
Right.
on trying to book those different gigs.
Well,
And
and
then, yeah.
I've seen videos that you've put on your TikToks of all of your character wigs and all of the stuff. How many wigs and costumes and things do you own? I mean, literally, that's what we would do as kids, but now you're making a career out of it, which I think is so cool.
It's absurd. So I went to school for radio and television, and then because this was my passion, I had just made a social media accounts for it, and that's how I've started getting noticed, and I realized I was making more money with my impressions. So yeah, I'm looking at my wig wall right now, and I'll send you a picture, maybe you can show it. But I've got around, I'd say 15 to 18 wigs. Some of them are my grandmother's that she used to literally use when she started going gray. And some of them are just hand-me-downs from other people that are like had Halloween boxes, and they're like, could you use this? And I'll take a wig and I'll just build a character around it. That's all you need. You need a wig and a funny story, and just build a character.
That is so cool. And do you feel when you put the wig on, you kind of become that person? Like, it's almost like you can't even help it.
Wow. You can't even help it. And if you have a couple glasses of wine with me, or we go out for drinks or margaritas, like the voices are coming out. You just be ready, because I've got like there's a lot that goes on in this head, guys. Okay, I'm kind of crazy. So you could be sitting down with Kourtney Kardashian or Edna Mode or Jennifer Coolidge. It's who's to say? Who's to say? Whatever comes out.
Yeah, we have a mutual friend, Rach, on the radio, who is killing it in the Philadelphia market for Q102, I do believe it is. And
yes,
she is crushing it. We love her. And to sit down and have wine with you and her would be a meeting of the minds. I mean, I would just I would eat that up. So we definitely got to make that happen next time I'm back on the East Coast. And
please do.
I absolutely love what you're doing. I think the work you're doing. And one thing I have to ask, because I think there's a lot of people who are trying to cut through the TikTok mold, right? And you're at about 750,000 followers. And I think there are a lot of small accounts out there that are trying their best and putting content out every day, and they're not really cutting through. Do you have any advice for them?
Definitely. And again, some of this, it works at certain times. There's big trends that I would latch onto in the beginning. I think in that there was like a time frame where it was actually really easy to go viral, because it wasn't as saturated. And now, not to say, there's not hope for everybody, but I'm just saying that a lot of more people kind of got on the bandwagon. So there's a little bit more competition. So my videos that probably would have gone viral 6 or 8 months ago will not necessarily go viral now, but it really is about consistency. It's similar to Instagram, but luckily TikTok, the algorithm, it shoots it out to more people, but it's consistency. It's following the trends, and it's finding something that's particular about you. You don't want to copy what someone else is doing. You want to take the trend and then bring what you have, your special sauces, and you want to put it together. And once you're known for something, though, kind of stick with that genre. You don't want to be known for like specifically vlogs and then all of a sudden start doing dances. Although it is possible, I try to stay in the same realm of genre, with impressions, and I'll do different voices. But, I probably wouldn't post a dancing video, because it's not really my wheelhouse. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but, you and me both. Yeah. You will not see that at all. No way.
Love dancing.
I'm going to take a note.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a more, it's a whole other level of TikTok. But there's so many genres on there. If you love woodworking, do some woodworking. If you like freaking Disney, do Disney vlogs. Like, there's the world is endless on TikTok. I've watched countless different things.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, is go with what you love. And that's why I started this podcast. I mean, it's literally called Do What You Love, because what I love to do is sitting up and catching up with people. I mean, I host a music radio show, a country music show in Las Vegas, yet when I take a long car ride, I set up phone calls with friends that I haven't caught up with in a while. And because I listen to music for a living, and so why am I going to keep listening to music while I'm in the car? I might as well catch up with people. And this is what I love to do. And to catch up with you has been so much fun. I feel like with a lot of impressionists, I'm speaking out of turn because I can't do any impressions. At zero.
I feel like you can do a couple.
Well, Andrea, I'll tell you this much. When I started in radio, okay, we and as a content creator, there's a lot of negativity, right? There's a lot of people who will point out every little flaw. You got to sit right there. They're telling you right about it. You're like, of course I know. You think I don't know?
No.
Come on. So, the same thing happens to me. And if you haven't noticed from, knowing me at Syracuse or now talking to me, I don't have the most conventional of radio voices. I kind of sound like I stopped halfway through puberty and just kind of landed right here. And I'm just still waiting 12, 13 years later to finish. And it hasn't happened yet. But with that being said, I've gotten 2 people, lots of insults. Some people say I sound like the Aflac duck.
Aflac.
That's like me. Some people say I sound like Gilbert Gottfried, which I've heard you do an impression of before on your account. I was like, that kind of sounds like me. And the other one is Charlie Day. I've gotten that a lot of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That is one.
Definitely hear that over Gilbert, which is a good thing.
Gilbert is like way up
extreme
in the stratosphere. Yeah, so the only impression I've ever done is of Charlie Day, because I once got put on the spot for a game on the radio, do an impression of any celebrity, and if I don't do it, I have to give away a pair of tickets. And so we try to push people to ask us very inappropriate questions so we don't answer them on the air. How many people have you slept with? That kind of stuff. And so someone said, do an impression or give me the tickets. So I said, I'll do an impression. So I've never done this besides that one time on the radio. This is Charlie Day in Horrible Bosses, after he found out that the Men Seeking Men section is not for finding a contracted killer, but for finding a man to sleep with. Here we go. We are a man seeking a man. That's all I got. Thank you. That's all I got. That's the whole impression. It's over.
Well, that was spot on. Although, it was short-lived, but that was all those words that you said were perfect. So
if I go any more than that, I was a huge Always Sunny fan, and
my God, yeah.
I have so much respect to him and creators like him and people like him who have made their careers, and you're one of those, and you're excited because you're moving out to LA, out to the West Coast. Hey.
Woo! Yep, never lived on the West Coast in my life, so it's a big move. Yeah,
this is big. And you grew up in Washington, D.C. I grew up in Maryland. We both went to school in upstate New York. I live in Las Vegas. You're moving to Los Angeles. So, we're kind of following trajectory here together.
True.
And
it's very true.
I love it. And if you ever need a break, you come from L.A. It's a short little drive to Vegas. You come, you hang out. We'll take you out. It'll be a great time.
It's funny. People usually don't say come to Vegas to get a rest. They say go to LA or something, or Palm Springs maybe. But Vegas to me, I've been there once, and it was a quick little drive through on a road trip. Mm-hmm. I did alien stock for a podcast. It was like we were covering alien stock, which is a whole nother, that's for a whole nother day. It's
we could do a whole pod on that. Gosh.
It is so true. We could. But yeah, Vegas, it looks and is crazy, but I feel like there is some residential areas out there that are very nice and relaxing. Am I right?
Well, it's funny because we kind of have the best gig on earth, because as a Las Vegas resident here, we have a common goal of I don't want to say hating everybody that comes here, but we get to it's like the greatest people watching. Like, if you ever sat down at the local mall and just sat there, that's us when drunk bachelorette parties come. Or really, really hammered D-bags come and walk down the strip. For us, that is fun. And we used to do something called the SIC line, the Service Industries Confessions line, SIC, S-I-C. And people would call in and tell us what crap they saw, and every Monday we'd play the voicemails back on the air. And it was...
That's incredible.
The stuff we see is the stuff you don't remember, because we have to be sober to work all the casinos and all that stuff.
Completely. And the stories that probably come out of that are just priceless.
Incredible.
That is a really good segment. And yes, I mean, that's something I would literally turn the radio on to listen to.
So, Andrea, I don't want to put you on the spot, but what is the impression you have that nobody ever asked for? And I mean that with all due respect. It's like, you're like, I don't even know why I have this one, but I have this one.
So I've auditioned for SNL twice the past 2 years, and I'm going to continue to audition. But you got to put together 5 minutes. And one of the characters I have is, it is a French sommelier that has no idea what he's talking about, but he makes you believe that the wine you're about to taste is so good, but he just, so here it is. Let's see if I can dig something out of my ass right now to make this impression happen.
Hello, my name is Pierre. welcome to my wine tasting. Today you're tasting a delicious red blend from Bordeaux. It has a taste of mice shit. It's a little bit of birch tree, a little bit of pigeon claw. Just smell it a little bit. Just swirl it around your cup. Look at the legs. It's absolutely delicious.
And then he takes a little sip, but he just says that everything. No one asked that. That is the literal most random impression. No one really knows I do, but it's been in a couple of my audition tapes for stuff. And
where did it start? I feel like I hear a lot of impressionists started with their mom, their dad, their aunt, their uncle, their cousin, their brother. Did you have one person that you were so fascinated with and you had to hone in on their tone and their voice?
Their tone, specifically that character came from mostly a wig, and I just love doing the French accent. But I had a religion teacher in high school that was very funny, and I can't even remember her name, but she was a nun, and I had to perfect. That was the main thing that I did in high school was just impersonate this nun, and everyone thought it was really funny and probably was very inappropriate because you're not supposed to impersonate a nun at your school.
I'm sure you were a hit with the kids and not so much with the staff.
With the staff, yeah, they all were a little bit worried. I ran for president, and to every of these faculty's dismay, I won, and my whole speech was voices. The only reason I won was because my whole speech was just in
Hilarious.
A slew of voices.
Yeah.
And they told me, please do not run for president. We would prefer if you didn't. And that just lit a fire under my ass. So then I had to run.
Obviously.
And then I just made the whole speech, just a bunch of voices that said, vote for Andrea. I promise you ice cream. And then, I was president. So do what you love, people.
Do what you love, and it could make you class president. Was this your senior year of school?
Senior year of high school, yes.
So does that mean, Andrea, because, fun fact, I was also my senior class president. Are we surprised? Are we surprised? I feel like
Not surprised at all.
Most people who went to Syracuse were their senior class president.
It's so true. We love the attention. We love the follows.
The
we
ego.
love being one with the people. Yeah.
That means that you're going to have to plan your 10-year reunion. You're class of 2011, right?
2012, yes.
2012.
Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna have to plan it for 2022 next year. I'm 2011, so
Did they contact you?
No. Well, I'm in charge. So I went to Andrea. I went to something called public school, and that means they have no system in place except for me calling a bar and then desperately trying to reach out to people who I haven't spoken to in 8.5 to 12 years, even when I was class president. And and I'm mid-pandemic, so trying to figure out where and how to do this is not easy.
It's gonna be great because the small talk when they answer the phone is like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they're like, "Well, it's I've been shitty, but I've been better." But
right.
Wow, the fucking pandemic, right? The small talk you're about to endure. I feel already sorry for you.
yeah, it's gonna go on a lot. Oh, by the way, how's your daughter? Yes. Okay, you do have a kid. 3 of them. Oh, all right. Good to hear. Cool. All right. So we have a reunion. Kids are not invited, and I hope you come. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Isn't it surprising though? Going back and looking at Facebook, it's really like a blast from the past. I mean, not only was the pandemic a time for marriage and kids, but a lot of people. I don't know. I think they thought the world was ending because there has been a lot of shotgun weddings on my side that that I fully support. Actually, I fully support. I think they're all going to be great couples and they're going to be amazing. But yeah, did you see a lot of that?
Yeah, this is a great time to plug my side business. Are you looking to get married? I am an ordained minister in Las Vegas. Fly on out here. I would love to do your service. Visit my website. I actually don't have the website set up yet, but I am ordained in Vegas. So if anybody's listening and they really want to hire me as their minister, I've done quite a few weddings in my time. I actually married 5 couples on the high roller in Las Vegas in the big Ferris wheel at the top of it. Yeah. I married 5 couples at one time as we were at the very top on the Las Vegas Strip. It was really cool.
Oh, this is classic radio side hustles, guys.
Yeah.
I feel like radio hosts and personalities, they've always got the side hustles, whether it's real estate or But I guess Vegas, the only proper side hustle is an ordained minister, and you.
Obviously. I mean,
That's the most Vegas thing I've ever heard. How was the process of applying to be a minister? Do you take classes or what is that?
I did. I took a class. It got pushed back and back and back because of the pandemic, and I took a class, and it's actually like, I think a lot of people don't realize that you can go to like Universal Church and like get a free thing and then spend $10 and they send you a card. But like, there are these things, I don't think people realize this, they're called state laws, and in order to marry somebody in a state, you have to be ordained in that state as well. So that little card, then you get permission from the governor, and then you can marry people. So the class involves a lot of paperwork. Like, if you came to me and you're like, I want to marry this guy, I just met him on the strip, he seems really cool, I like have to go through like a lot of processes to make sure. And there's a lot of like legal stuff, and I don't want to go like scare people here, but like, I have to like ensure that like you're all about it, and like he's all about it, and we're like not too drunk, and like no one's being forced, and then also that like you weren't you like spelled your name right and everything, because if you don't, and I go to turn your stuff in, I'm the one that has to pay for the mistakes, because I am the defense between you and the marriage, the courts and everything, and the documents. I'm the one that has to make sure. I'm like, that's too much responsibility.
That is a lot of responsibility. I mean, okay, you just better know when somebody's wasted. Like, that's yeah. I mean,
check
we're
not
the spelling for sure.
We're not having a Ross and Rachel situation here. I'm letting you know that. Not under my watch, all right? And I think, Andrea, I don't want to belittle you when I say this, because I think you're up to amazing things, and I think your career is going to only get bigger and better, and I definitely see you charming Lorne Michaels and being a part of that cast one day, and I'm going to be excited to say that I desperately text you for tickets and don't get a response.
You will get tickets.
But if you ever are bored, bring some wigs to the Las Vegas Boulevard. I'll meet you, and we'll like have you do impressions for people, and we'll take video, and that would be such a cool look for your reels and everything. How much fun would that be?
I cannot wait. I think the best character for that already starting off would be Jennifer Coolidge. If you guys don't know, Stifler's mom, just on the strip, like, oh my God, I love Las Vegas. Double or nothing. Love it. God, what's this Vivian girl got that you don't have? 3 tits. We're going to the Vegas Strip, baby. We're going to the Vegas Strip.
Andrea,
that would be incredible. I would totally be down for that.
You've done some great impressions today on the show and on your TikTok. I think eyes closed, that unbelievable. I mean, truly, like I felt like I was in American Pie. Like, I felt like, oh my gosh, that was incredible. Wow.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna have to listen back to that one.
Jennifer Coolidge, I love her to death. She is the nicest woman ever. Out of any of celebrities that I've ever impersonated, she is one that took me out to drinks, and we had an amazing time together in New York City. She paid for the bill, and she is exactly the same person that she is on TV. Like, she is the nicest and funniest, and like, she just wanted to talk about like meeting guys and dating, and she really didn't want to talk about like comedy or movies or anything. So,
well, I mean, I wanted to know is that the only person you impersonate that you've met, or that has seen or commented a video?
Lots of people have commented, but it is she's the only person that I spent like a long period of time with. Like, she literally took me out to this fun restaurant that it was actually, I chose the restaurant, and on accident I chose this Mexican restaurant in a hotel. So I literally took Jennifer Coolidge to a hotel bar, which is embarrassing in itself. I walked in, I go, I am so sorry. I'm not, it was in New York. I had just moved there. Yeah. This was like over a year ago, but she is the one person I've actually met. And when I was on Bring the Funny, I met Chrissy Teigen, who then sent my Courtney video to supposedly Courtney. I don't ever know if it got there, but Khloe Kardashian has commented on my videos, and Lisa Rinna from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has commented. So yeah, Paris Hilton has commented, Selena Gomez. But let me tell you, it's funny because you make all these connections virtually, but it's turning those relationships into something that's like a paying job. So if Selena Gomez, if you ever want me on your cooking show, like, I'm there.
Listen,
I am there.
In a prior episode of Do What You Love, we called out Justin Bieber. In this episode, we're calling out Selena Gomez. Let's not think too far into that, but with our tens of subscribers, I think we could maybe get to them. So we're gonna try. We're gonna try to get to them.
Definitely, yes, definitely. I believe in all of you. The listeners, the subscribers.
They're gonna tweet. There's gonna be like 6 tweets going their way, and it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be overwhelming their newsfeed. Andrea Lopez, comedy. Follow her Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. Last question. I'm a big fan. Yeah. Matterday Night Live. You've done some collabs with him, right?
Yes.
Hey, you two are my 2 favorite comedians on TikTok, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's a pleasure of mine to be able to, since we know each other, have you on the show. He is, I love that you guys collab. Did you just meet over the internet? Is that just, you guys started commenting?
Yes, it's TikTok. It's the TikTok world, and then you kind of go on a smaller platform like Instagram, and then you DM somebody. He is actually so insanely talented. He started this. This is called foresight. He started his own Clubhouse room called The Howard Stern Show. And that's just brilliant because people will immediately go on Clubhouse and think it's Howard Stern because of the name. And then they immediately get introduced to Matt. And it's just a brilliant way to get more eyes on your impressions. So he is going to be on SNL. He's going to be an actor. Like, he's already doing so many amazing things. But yes, I think it was either, I can't remember who hit each other up first, but it was just a simple DM that said, let's do a video together. And he's got so many great ideas. And we kind of just came together and did a Andy Cohen and a Caitlyn Jenner collab. And we've done Howard Stern and I think Courtney.
Yep.
Yeah, just so many great collabs that come together. And if you guys are looking to gain more followers, that's a great way to do it is collabs, because your audiences collide and they get to, see other people.
And with technology these days, it's honestly like easy. Like, look, you're in DC, I'm here in Vegas, and we're collaborating on Do What You Love. Like, it's almost too easy. And people ask me all the time, being a radio host, and I'm lucky to do it full time and have a career in it. But people ask me all the time, oh, how do you get a podcast? How do I say, just do it. I mean,
just do it.
Like, this microphone, I'm not here to like reinvent the wheel. This was like $30 and I got it 10 years ago. And now it's my professional podcasting microphone and I'm a radio host. It's kind of honestly sad when I think about it and say it out loud. It was for me to do Andy Grammer covers on my YouTube channel.
Yes.
Which have, I don't know, as of lately, recently disappeared because my fiance saw them, and I guess I deleted them right after she made fun of me. No more video covers. You won't see us dancing on TikTok, but you will see Andrea Lopez crushing it. And I can't thank you enough for taking some time. I could literally do an hour and a half with you, honestly. So I'm going to have to ask you to come back on the show in a year or 2 after you've spent some time in LA. Remember us here at Do What You Love. By us, I mean me. It's just me, unfortunately, but it could be with you. And Andrea Lopez, thank you so, so much for taking the time for the show today.
Oh my God. I'm honored. I'm blown away. Thank you guys so much. I am beyond honored. Jeff, I mean, we go way back, #GoOrange. Mm-hmm. And I am back literally whenever you need me. And we are hitting the Vegas Strip, y'all. We are heading to the Strip, and I'm taking my wigs with me. That's like the only thing I'm bringing in my suitcase to LA. It's just my wigs and my green screen. That's it. That's it. And my microphone.
Andrea Lopez, everybody. Thank you, Andrea. You're the best.